Some sad news to start the podcast off with. We were really saddened and shocked to hear of the passing of Lisa Shaw, whose programme we were on a few weeks ago on BBC Radio Newcastle.
Yeah, it was just the last bank holiday weekend around Line of Duty finale.
We had the pleasure of speaking to Lisa twice on her mid-morning show. Lisa was incredibly kind to us, both on and off the air. She asked about our son, she asked about us, and she put us at ease when we were very nervous about going on the radio.
And we really enjoyed listening to a show as well. It was a real nice mix of really good music and really interesting people from the area.
And there've been a number of tributes to Lisa, which you can see on the BBC website. And also BBC Newcastle have opened up a page of condolence as well. We would like to send our condolences to Lisa's family, friends and colleagues. So it's been a little while since we...
In the words of Stained.
It's been a while.
And Fred Durst.
I think maybe did they work together on that song?
No, so I think there's a normal version of It's Been a While.
Right.
But then on MTV2 back in the day, there was a live version where it's obviously, I think it's quite, for mid-90s, like alt rock, it's quite a nice, calm song. And then...
Very deep.
And then Fred Durst comes out with his little red starter cap and this is the real deal, y'all.
Anyway, so yeah, we've taken a bit of time away because we've had some pooliness in the house. There's been some snotty noses and some coughs and yeah.
A refusal to take vitamin C tablets.
I just don't like the taste. Anyway, I'm fine now. So I don't need to take one.
Yeah, you found it as well.
Yeah, I do. Thanks very much. Yeah,
Blocked
thanks
off.
for that. Thanks. I thought I was quite clear.
Elaine is scared to take the effervescing vitamin C tablets.
I'm not scared to take the tablets. It's just that you have to put them in like a pint glass of water. It tastes horrible. And then you've got to drink all of that. You know, I don't like drinking that amount of liquid. So, yeah, I'm a little sipper through the day.
But I started feeling well. I took one at night and now I feel okay. I've avoided it.
Yeah, good.
You're just fine being ill.
I am. I'm fine feeling unwell.
You're not,
Thanks.
because you're one of the worst unwell people I've ever met. You just feel sorry for yourself and just get in a mood and pick fights. And
I don't know where you're getting this from. I didn't pick any fights.
you do start sulking a bit.
Yeah, I think I look a bit sad. I think that's generally my being ill, just looking a bit sad. I don't think I picked it. I hadn't had the energy to pick any fights, love. Anyway, we've watched lots of telly.
And a few films as well.
Yeah, I know. We've got like half and half, haven't we? So usually we just do, quite a lot of TV, and then there's one film that we...
That's me.
Yeah, that's you. You're watching your film, your really random films. But this time I've been watching some films as well. How exciting.
Should we get on with it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Stop messing about.
All right, then.
Watching television.
So in TV, I've really wanted to come back and talk about Mare of Easttown. We spoke about this a few weeks ago on the podcast.
Probably our last episode.
It probably was, actually, yeah, before we did Nomadland.
Yeah.
I really loved it. You were not convinced. We had a bit of a mini argument about whether I'd been on my phone whilst we were watching it, and you went into a sort of half rant about crime dramas on Sky Atlantic, HBO, those sorts of things, and sort of saying you were a bit sick of it. We've now watched, is it 6 episodes? 6
of the 7, yeah. There's one left.
Yeah, one left. And I really want to come back and talk to you about your opinion now that you've got, nearly to the end of the show. I suspect that your opinion has changed a little bit. Am I right?
Yes and no. So I stand by my comments in that this is just your standard HBO drama, template HBO drama. Like, there's a mystery, someone's been killed. 3 of 4 things happens in these. There's a female detective with family issues and a substance problem. And you can take 3 of them and you can mix it up and you get Sharp Objects, you get The Outsider. If you're going really bad, you get True Detective.
When did True Detective have a female detective?
No, it didn't, but it had a male with substance abuse problems and family problems.
Right, okay.
Three of the four.
I think it's interesting that we're changing the gender roles, but anyway, right, okay. I kind of see where you're coming from.
And I think this is a brilliant TV show. I think this is brilliant. But it's got Kate Winslet in and a brilliant cast, so it's pretty hard not to be good. I'm really enjoying it, but I'm sick to death of seeing these characters painted exactly the same way. Oh look, she's got family problems.
I think this is so different to those sorts of shows. I don't think it's cookie cutter. I think the family problems she's got here are so different from the family issues that you would see elsewhere.
Yeah, it's next chapter of the family psychology textbook. Like it's like, oh yeah, no, right. So we've not got a drug problem. Not got a drug problem. We'll give them an alcohol problem in Sharp Objects. I genuinely just I'm sick of these murder mysteries where the murder victim is just really a MacGuffin, and it's just a point for bringing out all these people. I mean, there's so many red herrings in this. I've got a reference that you're going to roll your eyes at.
Oh no, here we go.
So in Power Rangers,
Yes.
when they brought in the White Ranger,
Right.
they literally brought in like 4 different characters that it could be, all of who were martial artists. And then as soon as Tommy was confirmed as the White Ranger, they just disappeared and never mentioned again.
Right.
And it's just, there's all these characters in this that look really shifty, and they've all got a bit of a past, and then it's like, oh no, it's not them.
I just so disagree. I think every character that you're talking about them, where you learn something about them, they're a bit shifty, they have their own storyline. So even the people who we now know didn't commit the murder, there are things still happening. You go back to those people, you learn more about their relationships, how their relationships have suffered because of them being accused. You see development in their future and what's going to happen to them later. I think this is such a stunningly well-made show. I see what you mean about, crime. I mean, you know me, I watch all of them.
And I think this is part of it. I think that every time I look around, like if I'm out the room and I come round, there will be some sort of either true crime or BBC ITV crime drama on there.
Yeah. And maybe that's what colours my opinion of this as well, in that I see the ones that I just think, there was one I was going to review this week that's an ITV drama, but I can't even bring myself to review it because I just thought it was awful, and everyone else was saying it was brilliant, and there were such good people in it, and I just thought that was, really standard. The acting was so over the top. There was some really bad acting in it, which I don't normally say, because I think, people should have a chance and everything. But this show, I would get up. I mean, I get really so excited about this show. I often think it's on before it is. If you remember, I'm often saying to you, should we watch Mare of Easttown? And then you're having to tell me that it's not on until the next day.
Just because the American podcasts have come in our feed, it's not on yet. It's on at 9 o'clock at night.
Honey, I would get up at 5. I mean, I'm up at 5 o'clock anyway, but I would get up at 5 o'clock like we used to do with Westworld, and I would watch this. I'm really enjoying the fact that I can't, watch it all at once. I know who did it, in inverted commas.
We think we know.
Yeah, well, I do think I know. Sorry, I do think I know, yes. But I've loved the journey. I've really liked all of the intricate detail. I love the idea of someone going through therapy. You see Kate Winslet's character going through therapy in this and really working through some deeply traumatic issues. And I know I'm not even going to look at your face because you're just going to be going ding 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 on my counter.
Yeah.
But this for me is a phenomenal show. This is for me my top show of the year so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. This may very well be in my top 10 of the year. I think it's burnt the bridge behind them, and they'll really struggle to do anything as good as this using the same formula again.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just don't. I'm just sick of seeing them.
Okay.
I really wish. And HBO do loads of TV shows, but could we not just have a murder mystery that's actually about a murder mystery? Like, I think.
Oh, but isn't the beauty of it that it's not just. I mean, you can watch a Poirot for that, or a Miss Marple, if you want that sort of, here's a murder, here's the person who did it. This isn't really about the murder or the murders.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
No, it isn't. You said, can we not just have
a murder mystery that's about the murder mystery? And you're saying, this isn't really about the murder mystery. That's the point I'm making.
I'm confused. I'm really confused. It's
been a long week.
Are you saying that you want something that's got more about the other people?
No. That's what I'm saying this is.
Right.
We're agreeing.
Right.
But I am just sick of just using a murder mystery as a framing device for this little interwoven...
Oh, so are you essentially making the point that you would just love to see Mare in Easttown and all of her mates without someone dying?
That would be nice.
Okay.
Or can I just have a murder mystery?
I still don't get that. What do you mean? Can you just have a murder mystery?
I like murder mysteries. I like murder mysteries. And this...
Yeah, but this is a murder mystery.
This isn't a murder mystery.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
This isn't a murder mystery.
I'm not getting your argument here.
There is no way you could pick from episode 2 who's done it, or who's 3, episode 3 who's done it.
I had an idea.
But we also had 14 other ideas as well.
But it's really good fun. That is a murder mystery.
And then it's only been the last 2 episodes. It's not like, say, Knives Out, where you can start formulating. There are clues there from the beginning about what's happened.
Totally disagree. I think as soon as you see that body in the stream, you've already seen what's happened to that girl beforehand. You've got all of the characters in play. Straight away, there were people being incredibly shifty that have turned out to be people that you should really have been looking, that they were being shifty for a reason.
Everyone's shifty though.
No, I don't think everyone was shifty.
Oh, they were. I'm not going to say because it's spoilers, but yeah, everyone's got a hidden past and blah blah blah. And we'll concentrate on him for an episode. No, it's not him. Right, we'll concentrate on him for an episode. It's not him. Oh no, it's this person at the end.
I don't think they did that. I don't think they concentrated on one person per episode. I thought they peppered it with interesting things. And those people that you're talking about, who we may have thought were the murderer, still had something to do with the disappearance or the death of that person.
Do you know what I want?
Hello.
I want an Osborne book.
You want one of those murder mystery Osborne books?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what
I've got one.
Yeah.
I've got a compendium.
That's apparently what I want. Yeah.
Okay.
This, like I said, it's a brilliant show, but I'm just sick of the formula.
Okay. Right. I didn't think we'd go into things quite as much as that, but anyway, interesting. Oh, I'm a little bit sad that you haven't like completely turned around and think it's the best thing on
I've said
television.
It's brilliant. I said it'll probably be in the top 10.
Okay. What more do you want?
I'll tell you what I want. I want you to like Starstruck.
Oh no! Right, okay.
Okay, so Starstruck is a British comedy starring Rose Matafeo. She plays Jessie. She's in a New Zealand comedy troupe in real life. Troupe?
I mean, you're looking at me
is
like
it troupe
I would
or
know.
trope? I never really know how to work that word.
A troupe?
Yeah, troupe. Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, that'll do.
She meets Nikesh Patel on New Year's Eve. She's out in a club. A friend's hooked up with someone. He plays Tom. He's been in Indian Summers, which I've never seen, and he was in the Four Weddings TV series.
Oh, is he? Right, okay.
They have a one-night stand, and when she wakes up, she realises he is a famous film star. So it's a Notting Hill situation, largely. And this is a show which just takes place. They don't fall in love at first sight. They have a one-night stand. They walk away from each other, give each other each numbers, and then this revisits them at various different points throughout the year, culminating at the next Christmas. I saw this and thought, this is really charming. I really like it. It's nice and warm and funny. Like, the people are annoying, but you're warm to them whilst they are being quite idiosyncratic and, making decisions that you probably would do in your 20s, but as a 40-year-old, I'm like, oh no, oh love, don't do that. And I said to you, I really think you'd like it. And you said, I hate it.
Well, first of all, I said, all right, dear, and then decided that I wouldn't watch it because you said that I might like it. But then I did. I watched one episode. I thought, we were having like a really bad night with the little one, and I thought, I'll just put one on. They're only sort of 25 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, 22, 23 minutes.
And I'll put one on. And I remember thinking, I wonder if it's just because it's like the pilot or something that I'm just not enjoying this at all. And then I was up through the night again, a couple of nights later. I thought, I'd said to you, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't find it charming. I don't find it witty. I don't particularly feel anything towards it other than a bit of boredom. And then I thought, right, I'll give it another go. So middle of the night, as per, thought, holding baby sleeping, watch show on phone, essentially, while baby's sleeping. And so I watched part of episode 2, and it just did nothing for me, and I won't go back to it. I'm really sorry, but
don't want you to go back anywhere. You're not welcome in my little world with my little friends.
You know what? And I can't put my finger on what it is, because this should be absolutely up my street. It's Fleabagian. I think that's a bit of a lazy thing, but I loved Fleabag. That was short. It was lots of people making witty comments. It was sharp dialogue. It was people, like you say, making really bad decisions and us going along with it. It's all of those shows that we have enjoyed in the past, and for some reason I just don't like it.
Is it just because you dislike comedy?
Well, you know I have a tinea for comedy. You know that I've got a real issue with it. But say, for example, like Motherland that's on at the moment. I love that, and it's full of really annoying people that you shouldn't really like. Do you know what I mean?
But interestingly, I saw the first episode and said, I'm not bothered about that.
Yeah.
And I've just heard so many people say, oh, this is just superb, that I feel like I really need to give it another chance.
Yeah.
But we don't want you to do this.
And I can't, you know what, there was part of me that's thinking, am I too old now? Is it because these are people in their 20s and they're out in a club? But I was working through that. I thought, no, because there's plenty of things that I watch that I can't, things that I don't do anymore, that I'm now a bit older and doesn't necessarily resonate. And of course, it resonates in some way because I was that person in the club in the 20s, So I was working through all of that. And it's not like there's like bad acting or anything like that. Just something about it just hasn't captured my imagination. And when I got to episode 2, I just found myself thinking, I can't make my way through these 20 odd minutes. I just can't do it. So I stuck a podcast on. But I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they don't need me there, this one little viewer, because everyone else seems to love this show.
Yeah, I mean, it's got really good write-ups. It has been renewed for a season 2. I'm not really sure, because I think the end, I mean, I finished this in a week, and I think the end of the series was really touching. It's just plays it just right around what's happening. This touched on like things that in my late 20s I moved city, not from New Zealand to London, nothing anywhere near as dramatic as that, but it does kind of touch upon when you're alone in a new city. And I remember the touch upon things. I remember being here and sitting here going, if I died, how would my mum find out?
I forgot.
Yeah.
All right.
Because there was no way, there was no one linking it through. I suppose I'd have to tell work, and there might have been my emergency contact.
You thought this through.
Oh yeah, I thought this through massively. And they kind of touch upon things like that, and yeah, I mean, this really struck a chord with me.
And maybe that's it. Maybe there's things in there that ping for you, whereas there was no murder mystery for me. So
but yeah, brilliant cast. I find them really charming. Elaine doesn't.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
It just didn't. Something just didn't click with me.
Okay. I would recommend anyone gives it a go who's, like I said, Fleabag is a lazy comparison. It's a female-based comedy,
yeah,
but
I know.
Yeah, it's not far off.
It's the only thing I can think of as to things that I've loved in the past.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's not dissimilar from that. It's young people in London in the 20s stroke 30s. So yeah, give it a go. Or don't.
What have we got to finish off with?
Inside Number 9 is back.
Oh, Inside Number 9. What is it? What were we going to say? Yeah, Inside Number 9.
And we're 3 episodes in.
We are 3 episodes in. We've just caught up really quickly, haven't we? Because we didn't see 2 and 3 as it came out. But we watched them both. Was it yesterday?
It was yesterday, yeah.
Yeah. So we watched the first one pretty early and then had a break, didn't we?
I think they are 2 for 3, and I think that's reflected in the fact we waited a little while to go back for 2 for 3.
I totally agree, yeah.
So, if you don't know Inside Number 9, it's a standalone anthology TV series, just based. The only consistent thing is it's based in something which is number 9. So it might be a hotel room, it might be a shoe that's that's size number 9, it might involve a TV channel 9.
Yeah.
I'm stretching
I know,
now.
I'm just looking at you now thinking, shall I interject? It's Reece Shearsmith and Steve Pemberton as well, so they're always in the cast.
Yes, from the League of Gentlemen.
They write it.
And they bring in, sometimes it's just them two, sometimes they bring in guest stars, really high-level guest stars as well. Some really great people are in
and
these.
they love dressing up, which is brilliant, because every single episode, they just look so different. It's fascinating, I find, that they're so chameleonic, probably not a word, but they really can inhabit different people.
And this is this is a chameleonic TV show. Like, some of them are horrific, some of them are murder mysteries, some of them are really high concept, like there is episodes where there's absolutely no speech at all. There's episodes where it tells the story backwards. There's episodes where you sometimes don't know what's going on until sort of halfway through, and it's purposely told like that. And there's often a twist at the end. Not always, but it's quite often, or 2 twists or 3 twists.
And it goes through so many different genres as well. And satire and parody and some really wistful episodes. So there's some that I can really think of as being incredibly sad and very poignant. So not always just like horror or comedy.
Bernie Clifton's dressing room comes to mind.
Exactly. So absolutely loved this show. I really struggled with episode 1 of this series.
Episode 1 is... so I'm going to touch upon the themes around them. Episode 1 is a Shakespearean farce, shall we say. And it goes out of its way to touch on every cliche within the Shakespeare universe. Really good people in there. So there is Gemma Whelan. Kevin Bishop's in this.
Patterson Joseph.
Rosa Robson. I don't know Rosa Robson, but really good people in there. I'm willing to accept I am too stupid to get a lot of the references around this.
That was my issue, It felt more like something that you would analyse for a TV studies, or if you were doing English literature, it felt like something that you would bring into the classroom as a teacher, and you would sit there for a class and pull apart all of the nuances in there. The things like there's the doctor, there's the nurse, there's all of those sorts of characters that you get in those sorts of dramas. All of the cliches, the Chekhov's gun, the
breaking the fourth wall,
all of those things.
Referential to those things. So at one point they'll turn around and say, "Oh, stop fleabagging." Second reference of the night.
So it didn't do anything emotionally for me, and I think that is what Inside Number 9. That's what I love about Inside Number 9. I want to be challenged emotionally. I want to come away from an episode and still be thinking about it later on, which episodes 2 and 3 did do for me.
I think it's the wrong choice for the lead of the series as well. It's come back, and for me, I was so excited. And I think if it comes in as episode 4, like, okay, that one didn't really work for me, but
I've already had the other ones.
So I'm already in there. It happened last year where there was an episode which was a stealth return to one of Reece Shearsmith and Steve Pemberton's old TV shows, and we just sat. I'd never heard of it,
so,
and we sat there for half an hour going, "What the hell
internet
is this?"
went mad, didn't it? And I remember looking at it going, but I just don't get it. So that's how I felt with the first one. Just too stupid to actually understand it.
Episode 2 explores the kind of fandom and endings to TV shows. It's the creator of a TV show that may or may not be called Thame of Grones that's ended and people are not happy with it, and then it's a fan trying to get in touch to change the ending of it.
Funny enough, endings of shows, sometimes don't go down well with the fans.
Fun of that. Check out a Line of Duty podcast if you like that.
I liked it.
This has got Lindsay Duncan in, and Nick Mohammed comes in as well, who I love. Like, he's so good in Statlet's Flats, going back to last year's
another comedy that I can't cope with.
But lovely programme. really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Characters, brilliant.
Lots of things that you could really pick up on that you know when you especially when you stick around, Twitter and things like we do, when we're always looking up stuff. I think we spend quite a lot of our time just scrolling through Twitter and seeing what the world thinks.
Yeah.
And you can see that it's known as toxic fandom, isn't it? When
Yes.
people are coming in and going, oh, actually, I know better than the writer and the creator of the program. But it made some really interesting points about fandom in there, and that's what I really appreciated about it.
And then the third episode that was on just this Sunday gone.
Which is my favourite so far.
Yeah, I agree. So it starts off, there's a guest star of Sian Clifford from Fleabag.
Oh my God.
The Fleabag episode.
Yeah.
And it is someone in a hotel trying to surveil his wife or partner who is in a hotel room opposite. Mm-hmm. And that's all we know.
Yeah.
And the show goes from there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to reveal what the
Nothing
number
at
of the
all.
TV show of the hotel room across the way is, but
and I don't think we should say absolutely. And it's one of those episodes where just don't know anything.
Yeah.
Don't know anything about it. Watch it and let it unravel beautifully in front of your eyes. I think that's just I think it's one of the best ones that they've done. I think it's certainly, you sometimes, like, you get on The Guardian, they sort of list out all of the episodes, sort of the ones that they think are great, down to the ones that didn't quite work for them. I think, you know what, a couple of years ago, I think I saw something like that, and that's what led me to watch certain episodes of Inside Number 9 that I hadn't seen before. I went through that chart, and some of them, I couldn't believe how good they were, and I hadn't seen. But I think this is going to come up high on that list if they do that again.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Sian Clifford. Blimmin', I've only ever seen her in Fleabag, and I thought she was brilliant in this.
She's been in something else that I've seen recently and gone, oh, it's her doing something different.
Right,
and
okay.
I can't think quite what it was. I'm not going to remember what that is.
No.
But,
Are you going to scroll through your phone and try and find
Quiz.
out? Oh, of course, she's been in Quiz. Yeah. I completely forgot about that. We watched that as well.
Yes, we talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, but
See previous episodes.
early doors on the podcast, that one. I think she's really, really... What a completely different character to what I've seen her play before. And, yeah, just such... You know what? When she's in the room with it, it's not giving anything away, but she's in the room with Steve Pemberton, and you can't take your eyes off her. I think she's such a she's not even playing someone who's charismatic, but you're drawn to her. You want to watch that person act, I think.
Absolutely. All the series are on the iPlayer, so do yourself a favour. If you've never seen this, just work your way through.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
They are all at best all right. At worst all right.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, they're all at best all right.
That's a funny review.
Yeah. And some of them are absolutely genius.
Yeah.
I'd go so far to say.
Yeah.
So, it's Inside Number 9, and it's on Sunday nights, I think.
Yeah, I think
on
so.
Monday nights, one of the two.
Who knows?
Some catch up.
I mean, we're meant to be doing
No
some
one
sort of
watched it
TV
live anymore.
TV podcast, we still don't know when things are
Yeah.
on. Films.
We've got some films to talk about, haven't we?
Okay, so we've got 3 films to get through. I'm going to do Woman in the Window, that was on Netflix.
Yeah.
I watched that by myself. You're going to do Mortal Kombat.
That I watched in a cinema.
That you went to the cinema to see. Exciting. And then we're going to round it off with Army of the Dead, which, again, was on Netflix over the weekend.
Yes.
So, quick one for Woman in the Window. This is a Amy Adams film. It's set up very much like Rear Window, which is what attracted me to it. She is the titular woman in the window looking at her neighbours. She sees Gary Oldman and his wife, Julianne Moore. They're having lots of arguments. Something occurs. Can you guess what it is? And she then has to convince people that the thing that she thinks has occurred. And Rear Window ensues.
I was going to say, this is Rear Window. I didn't realise this.
Yeah. It totally... at one point in the film, it's actually quite early on, there are old films playing in the background. You know how the camera slides along, and then you see there's a television on in the background, and there's a black and white film. And I'm sure it would have been a Hitchcock. I'm sure there was... that's a real blank spot in my film knowledge, I don't really know the older films, but yeah, older films were being played. And actually, I think she's got like DVDs of all the old films as well. Anyway,
Disturbia.
I haven't got a clue. What? Why are you looking at me?
Disturbia was a rip-off of Rear Window that was out in the mid-2000s.
Shia LaBeouf?
Shia LaBeouf, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I hadn't realised that this film had a really troubled backstory. It had been filmed ages ago. I thought it was a COVID film. Honestly, I thought, oh, this is a pandemic film. She's in this beautiful New York apartment. It's massive. Weirdly, she's got Wyatt Russell down in her basement.
Yeah.
In a basement.
Okay.
Yeah. But when I saw him, I remember thinking, God, that looks like the Wyatt Russell that I saw in Black Mirror many years ago. Not the Wyatt Russell that I've just seen in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
So, like, he looked younger. Do you know? And it started just, you know. And then I watched it, and then I read the Wikipedia, and clearly this has just been through production hell. It's been stuck. The studio took it out to audiences. Audiences hated the ending. Then it had rewrites. It's been edited and re-edited. There's been people brought in all over the place. And it shows. It really does show in this film. I'm not going to say this is a terrible film. Because...
Plenty of other people have, as by all I can tell.
I know. You know what? I sat on an afternoon. It was sort of like one of those rainy day afternoons. I popped it on for a couple of hours. I enjoyed the beautiful New York apartments. I enjoyed Wyatt Russell. I liked the mystery. I didn't guess it, even though I'm clearly an idiot, because, you know, I should just have known what was happening. Amy Adams does her best, you know, Amy Adams, because she's just brilliant in everything. So
yeah.
She really sells this idea of a psychiatrist who's had a trauma, who, you know, she doesn't know if she's seeing what she's seeing. She doesn't know if she's telling the truth or not, and neither do we. So she sells that. She's so good at being traumatized, Amy Adams, that, you know, you really buy into it. There are some terrible hammy performances by some really well-known actors. One in particular where I just thought, wow, you've really turned that up to 75. We didn't need to go that far, Mr. Ullman. But
who could it
be? But he's clearly having a great time. But even then, that's what made me think something's happened here, because then he only kind of shows up a few times. You think, where else is he? Like, he's meant to be one of the main people. So clearly it was cutting, you know, I was about to say cut and paste, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Things have occurred with this film. If you are looking for a 3-star standard mystery drama in the vein of Rear Window, and you're not too fussy, and you like the look of the interiors of a New York apartment, give Woman in the Window a go. I didn't think it was terrible, but it wasn't good.
One for the poster.
But it wasn't good. It was fine. I had a nice time.
Good.
I'll not think about it again.
I'm not going to watch it.
Similarly, Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat is the film that has had me most anxious for probably 3 years, when I got 10 minutes away from the cinema and realised I'd left my mask at home.
Oh, right, I thought you were anxious for the film coming out.
No.
It's made me so anxious.
Well,
right.
I've got a lot invested in Mortal Kombat. If you were a teenager in the 90s, you had to choose Blair or Oasis, you had to choose like your football team, and you had to choose, if you were of a certain genre of geekdom, if you were a Street Fighter 2 person or a Mortal Kombat person.
Kylie Minogue? She's in Street Fighter, isn't she?
Yeah, but no, the computer game.
Oh, right, okay, not the film.
Not the film.
Right.
Yeah. So Street Fighter 2 was like very cartoony. For me, it was the better sort of gameplay. I used to love. I was a Street Fighter 2 person.
Is it where there's like someone, Jean-Claude Van Damme, who is going forwards in a... So I'm doing the motions. We've got the little arms up and the legs are down and they're just flat to the screen. And then you move them along a bit and then they come back a bit and then they kick someone. Is that what?
I mean, you've
Fighter-
basically described every fighting game.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Did he have like little red pants on or something like that? I remember Red being involved.
Ken wore red.
Okay.
That's not Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Right.
Jean-Claude Van Damme plays Guile,
Okay.
who did a Sonic Boom.
Right.
We're not reviewing
Was there a
Street
lot
Fighter.
of kicking in it?
Yeah, it's
I
a
do-
fighting game.
right, okay,
They
yeah.
don't just, sing a song.
I think I remember that.
So,
Sorry, carry on.
Street Fighter 2 was very cartoony. It was very cartoon violence. There was a monster in it. You could play as a monster. You could play as a... They were from all around the world. So there was a Japanese sumo fighter. There was a quite unsympathetic Indian yoga figure, like that you wouldn't get away with nowadays. Ken was from America. Cammy in Super Street Fighter 2 was from England, who was played by Kylie Minogue in the film.
Thank you.
There was Chun-Li
See, I knew
from
I knew
China.
something.
Yeah. Zangief, the big Russian wrestler. Anyway. Against that was Mortal Kombat, which had real life people in there, sort of digitized. And it was probably wasn't the first video game to do that, but certainly the one that popularized it. It had real, not real blood, but
Did it shoot
when
out?
you hit people, like there was fake blood came out.
And you didn't get that in Street Fighter?
No, not
right,
at all,
okay.
not at all, yeah. And it was over the top blood as well, like a big cloud of blood would come out when you punched someone in the face. And then the thing that caused all the controversy at the time, when you beat someone, you got to kill them. So
Oh, right.
you'll have heard the term finish him.
Yes.
So-
Mainly from Karate Kid, I think.
Oh, yeah.
him.
So when you beat someone, they said finish him, and you could either just punch someone and knock them over, or
Right.
each character had like a special move that you could do with a combination of button presses to actually kill the person. So
Oh, I can understand, yeah.
one person like ripped out the person's heart, one person like sliced them in two. Yeah, it was meant to be ultra violent. It wasn't, but
Did it get the same sort of attention as, say, like video nasties of the 70s and 80s?
yeah, very much so. There was what was that Mega CD game where
Funny, you've just said a word I don't understand. What is a Mega CD?
It was so you
I
had
know
a
a Mega Drive.
you had a
I had
Mega
a Mega
Drive,
Drive, yeah.
So there was a CD based add-on for it,
Oh, okay.
which instead of having cartridges you got a CD thing.
Right.
And there was a game called like Night Moves or something like that, which
Mm-hmm.
sounds a bit porny, but it was very limited gameplay. But it was a video of, I think it was girls at a sleepover, and then monsters or terrorists came in, and you had to stop them.
Right.
I'll show you afterwards.
Thanks.
And
I'll look forward to that.
Yeah, and because it was actually full motion video, it caused a lot of controversy, and
Okay.
tabloids
Yeah.
circled the wagons around it. But yeah, Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, I think we've gone too far into the history of videos. Street Fighter for me was a better game, but Mortal Kombat had far better world building for me. It was really exciting. It went on, had a sense of humour as well. So instead of doing fatalities, you could do friendship moves.
Okay.
So instead of like pulling people's arms off, you could cut like a little string of paper, like a paper, you have the
Yeah, like
hands.
paper dolls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
paper
yeah,
dolls,
yeah.
hands to hand. Or instead of like turning into a dragon and killing someone, you could magic up a Mortal Kombat arcade machine for them to play on. Things like that. There was a film in 1995, which I really enjoyed. I've not seen since. I imagine it's crap. But I was quite excited to go see this, especially because it was my first trip back to the cinema.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Until you forgot your mask.
they had a
halfway
mask there for me. So yeah, I was quite
there.
happy.
Oh, well done, the cinema.
Everything I enjoyed about this film was related to going, I remember that from the game. Oh, they've done that reference. That was a bit shoehorned in, but at least it's a reference to the game. This film is a mess.
I don't even know who's in it.
So it's Lewis Tan, who's a martial artist who you would know from... He was in Deadpool 2, and he's been in plenty of Den of Thieves. Oh, he was one of the bad guys in Iron Fist, I think. But other than that, he's the Rush Hour TV show, Hawaii Five-0, etc., etc. He was in The Hangover Part 3, apparently.
Oh, okay.
And Olympus Has Fallen. no one else of any note aside from Hiroyuki Sandana, who is from Westworld, not for the last time tonight.
Yeah.
Plays Musashi in Westworld.
Yeah.
The whole point of Mortal Kombat is it's a tournament between the human world and the shadow world. And so you get human characters and you get monsters. And they fight in a tournament and someone wins. Something that they remind you of all the way through this film. This isn't about a tournament. No tournament takes place during this film.
Oh.
This is the baddies, the shadow welders, trying to kill all the human characters before the tournament starts. That's weird. I'm going to go into some of my problems with it. I wouldn't consider spoilers, but people might.
So watch out if you are desperate to see Mortal Kombat and you don't want to know anything about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check the time code and skip through to our review of Army of the Dead, which might be fun. Everyone in this, someone's chosen to be a Mortal Kombat fighter and they develop their powers. So we get Lewis Tan's character, who I think is massively generic, but there you go. Cole Young. So I'm like, oh, so they're all developing the powers, right? Who's he going to become? Is he going to become Johnny Cage? Is he going to become Lung Kao? Is he going to become Shao Tsung? And then you see these characters come up and you're like, okay, so he's not that. No, it's just a generic, boring character. So he turns into someone, and I spent the next 10 minutes going, this is deep cut for me. I've never seen this character before.
You're thinking, wow, it's something I don't know.
This must be like Mortal Kombat 4 or something like that when I had lost interest. No, original character.
Okay.
Not meant to know who he is. It's just really bad. The fighting's alright, but all the fights take place at once. There's a lot of standing around. There's a lot of characters who just are like twirling their mustaches, like, oh, I think he's going to turn out to be a baddie. It's just really quite boring. And I was glad to be in a cinema, but not really at all. It's quite sad.
That is quite sad. You didn't come home sort of bouncing and sort of going, oh, I've just been to see a great film, or even saying, oh, that was good fun.
I can't even be angry about it. That's the thing.
Anything.
It's not so terrible that I'm like gonna enjoy ranting about it. It's just there.
Yeah.
It's all right to look at. There are some fun references, although they're all shoehorned in. Yeah, it's just not very good.
Well, I'm sad for you that was the first one you went to see when you went back to the cinema. But start small. Build up. What's next? What's coming out with the pictures that you're gonna see next?
Probably Quiet Place 2.
Quiet Place 2, yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready for that. I think it's...
Me too. I think we're going to try and see that together, aren't we?
Yeah, although I can't replicate... When I went to see the Quiet Place 1, I was the only person in the cinema, which is the perfect film to go see that for.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, is it?
No. I'll be rustling...
Because I'll be there.
Feeling guilty rustling my sweets and, yeah.
Should we finish off with Army of the Dead?
Yes.
Yes. Which we watched together on Netflix. Came out on Netflix over the weekend.
Yes.
Had a big push, actually, because it had a trailer that was really picked up. Yeah, it went viral, and did I show it to you?
Yeah. I came down for lunch, and you got really excited and said, have you seen this trailer?
Yeah, because it's zombies in Las Vegas.
I think we need to declare our interests here.
I think people who listen to the podcast regularly will understand the Las Vegas love.
We got engaged in Las Vegas. We had our honeymoon in Las Vegas.
We live our lives thinking about Las Vegas.
I spend my life looking at realty.com, trying to see if I won the lottery, what house in Vegas I'd buy. We are converts on Vegas.
Yeah, we have a Google thing, name that I do not know, that just cycles the photographs of Vegas that
Only
we have
because we
had.
took lots of photographs there.
Yeah,
it's
but
also other holidays.
It's always there. It's always there. Oh, hang on a minute.
That's Belfast at the
Belfast.
minute, which is
right.
perfect. Yeah.
But yeah, we love Vegas. Vegas is our spiritual home.
So when we see casinos in the background, we are sold already. Like, oh,
straight away.
Look, it's Paris. Look,
that's our hotel room.
Yeah,
we stay in the same hotel.
Yes.
It's essentially in the same room.
But this is Zack Snyder. This is a continuation, even unofficially, of his continuation of the Dead series. So he remade Dawn of the
It was
Dead.
Dawn of the Dead, wasn't it?
Yeah, and this is, I guess, an unofficial sequel to it. It
Yeah,
doesn't seem
and
to have any continuity.
No one said
to
that.
it.
No one said that, but obviously it's in the same genre. I was really excited. I know he's taking a deep breath there. I was really excited. I thought, you know what? I really like Watchmen. I've got things to say about Justice League, which we've said on the podcast before. But I like a really big, Zack Snyder does big boombastic films, and I wanted a big boombastic film. There is a good film in there. If only he could rein it in a little bit.
What maniac allowed this film to be 2.5 hours long?
2.5 hours. There's no need for this film to be there are subplots that I said to you, didn't I? Especially one right at the end. I was like, I do not care about this subplot. This subplot could be completely cut out. It would make no difference to the film physically, emotionally. The subplot involved a character that I just found really annoying. Really annoying. And given that a lot of people die in this film, there's no spot, there's a zombie thing, people will die. There was characters that didn't die that I was like waiting for because I think I would have cheered.
Oh no. If you're talking about the character I think you are, then that's really mean. Yeah, we can't go into it, but... So anyway, this stars Dave Bautista.
Who is wonderful. I'm going to stand up for Dave Bautista, who partway through the film I turned to you and said, what was his wrestling name? And you very kindly went, I think you'll find it's Batista. I thought he was called something else. But
what are those things in Gremlins called?
I really like it. I know sometimes people who have been in sort of the wrestling world get a really bad time of it. People say, oh, they can't act, blah, blah, blah. But John Cena, brilliant actor.
I think
Dave Bautista, brilliant actor.
I think Dave Bautista is third in the wrestling crossover stars charts. I think he's been overtaken by John Cena recently.
And then you got The Rock at the top.
Yeah. I mean, The Rock is the undisputed king of action things anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's third. But I don't think he can quite manage the emotional heft of this film.
I thought the emotional heft was fine. I thought it was the people playing opposite him who had the problem with the emotional heft. Yeah.
So, I thought this film was, we're all on a holiday in Vegas, zombies break out, and panic ensues.
Yeah.
Imagine my surprise to find that in the most Zack Snyder move ever. It's just the scene setting in a montage-filmed credits sequence. Set to music. The times they are changing.
Really, I thought it was really effective. I thought it was really effective emotionally, which you often don't get with the side of films.
Yeah.
I think there was some scenes in there where I go, oh my god, no! And people were dying, people were having terrible things happen to them, people weren't being saved, and you got to know the main characters that come back later on. These people who are the zombie killers, Dave Bautista is essentially the leader of. Really enjoyed it, but it didn't. The rest of it didn't need to be 2.5 hours. There were some interesting plot devices that didn't go anywhere. That I think he's trying to build like the world of the zombies, trying to build, what would it be like if there was a gated community of zombies? And I think, part of me thinks, we know that because we've seen The Walking Dead, but he's trying to build some sort of mythology around it.
Should we talk about the plot and tell you what the actual plot of the thing is? So, Dave Bautista needs to go back into Vegas, which has been walled off from the world and is just full of zombies, for reasons. There is a MacGuffin in the middle of it that needs rescuing and bringing out. The end.
Right, is that it?
Yeah.
Are you finished now?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't want to give too much away.
I don't think that's too much away.
No, I don't think it is, but that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to be sort of like, not saying too much. But anyway, and then what ensues, I don't think particularly pays off. There's some really interesting people. There are really fun characters. There's, things to do with Vegas that I loved. Every time I saw a Vegas casino, I got really excited. But the other thing was that they just seemed to go back to New York all the time. So it was like they kept going back to almost like this base camp that was meant to be a completely annihilated New York. And I just kept thinking, can we not go somewhere else? Can we not go to the other end of the strip? Can we not go to the Stratosphere? Can we not go to the place where, apparently, when we went there, the tour guide told us Mariah Carey's fiance bought some land to build a casino, and then when they split up, the land just remained empty. I
think you're mixing up the Las Vegas tourist board with Zack Snyder.
Yeah, I know. And I think that's why maybe I was more disappointed, because I wanted to see the things that I know.
I think my big problem is it's 50 minutes before anyone sets foot in Las Vegas. There is probably large spells of this where there's absolutely zero action. It's people acting in with each other with things that go absolutely nowhere. It tries to be cine literate, but just ends up pissing everyone off because
I like that there was an it really charmed me to begin with, because there was an absolutely brilliant reference to American Werewolf in London, where I nearly like nudged you on the knee and went, this is like not just word for word, but physically these people are doing the scene from American Werewolf in London. I hadn't seen that reference before. But then it just kept doing it. It just kept going back to other things and playing, needle drop.
Intelligent zombies, I don't care for,
I know.
especially not in the way that this moves on. Yeah. There is things they need to do which are just like built up and then just done.
Yeah.
They take someone along for a reason on this mission, and you expect something's going to happen with it. No, just does it. Switches the light, it comes on. There's plots that seem to be completely not referenced. At one point, there is a zombie that has a robot face.
Is there?
Yeah. It's
I don't
flashed on
remember
it for
that.
about a split second. A zombie is killed, and there is a robot face underneath the skin.
Didn't see that at all.
And I was like, oh, well, are we going to come back to that? Never mentioned again. I've checked it, it's there.
There's some sort of time loop thing as well. Like
Someone
when
references
like
reference
Tenet,
time
loop,
which was obviously done before Tenet.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
But yeah.
As it went on, the more I felt like I wanted it to end. Which was sad.
I mean,
because I really wanted to like it. I wanted it to be a tight 90-minute, fun Friday night ride, and it wasn't.
It also suffers. It's like the Zack Snyder's greatest hits, because there are 4 endings. Like, the film ends, and then there's an epilogue that seems to just carry on and on and on. It's like he learnt nothing from Justice League.
I think he's done this before Justice League, hasn't he?
I mean,
surely he did. Surely he did this before.
He filmed it. He can't have edited it. This cannot have been the priority over Justice League.
No, I know, but I thought this might have been in the can before
and you
that.
might just want to go back and go, yeah, I've just realised that, I've ruined the end of Justice League. Maybe I'll just cut this bit out or do it as an extra post-credits thing.
I think he thinks that what he's done is brilliant. Which, of course, you would do if you are the writer. Going back to Inside Number 9 and the review that we did of that,
I think he probably needs a good editor. And someone who can cut it down to 90 minutes and have a helicopter crash in there.
Agreed, yeah. Speaking of which, though, because
we are going on too long.
Let's wrap it up.
Cool. So we're not really impressed with any of the films this week, are we?
Not really, no. I mean, give them a go.
No.
But is there anything better? There must be better things out there to watch.
Yeah, Starstruck.
Fair enough.
Just watch all 4 episodes of Starstruck and 6 episodes of Starstruck, and it's only over 2 hours, so it's still shorter than Army of the Dead.
That's true.
Or watch 4 episodes of Inside Number 9.
Yeah. That is a good use of your time. Right.
But
do you want to go?
Thanks a lot for listening. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Honeymoon Pod. And if you'd like to drop us a review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, it really helps us. I think we're going to try and be back a little bit sooner than this time, aren't we?
I think we're going to attempt to come back a bit earlier. We'll probably go to the pictures and see something and come back and talk about that, I think.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.